Hello, beautiful people. Welcome to this season final episode. Thank you for tuning in again and being on this ride with me. Let me just tell you what we'll cover in this short solo episode. I'll start with a quick personal update and the plans for the show, and then I'll do a short recap of the lessons we learned during the second season. I've decided to take the summer off. With the kids out of school, I need to lighten my load. My body is giving me signs that the way I currently operate is too stressful and not sustainable, so I'm focusing on my health this season. I'll see you in the fall with fresh ideas on how to unlock our children's full potential. In the meantime, I'm also working on my certification as a positive parenting coach, so I'll have lots of new material to share with you, practical tips and new tools for your parenting toolkit. This was a tough decision to make. At first, I was so afraid of taking a break. Questions came up like, how am I going to pick up the show after such a long break? Will people stick around when I'm back? If they don't hear from me for that long, will my regular listeners feel left out without our weekly dose of encouragement? Am I quitting on the venture I put so much effort into building and growing? On and on went my worries until I remembered something Susie Moore preaches. A couple of questions to ask oneself when faced with a difficult choice. What's important here? And how can I make this easy? So I asked myself, what's important here? The answer was to focus on my health and slow down for a few months to be able to come back and continue the podcast long term. How can I make this easy? By letting you guys know what the plan is, suggesting some great shows to listen to in the meantime, and giving myself compassion for not being able to do it all. And that's okay. Right now, my focus should be elsewhere. It's okay to let go of control, change plans, get quiet for a moment, and listen to what my body tells me right now. I definitely recommend you try this out, asking yourself, how can I make this easy? So often, in our attempt to do things perfectly, we overcomplicate tasks and overwhelm ourselves. And looking at it through a different lens can spark our creativity and help us come up with ideas that are not only easier, but also better and more efficient. Anyway, I want to recommend some of my favorite parenting podcasts that you might enjoy listening to while I'm on break. My personal favorite is the Fresh Start Family Show with Wendy Snyder. Wendy is my longtime parenting coach and mentor, the one who got me started on this path. We have an episode together, that's episode 54, and I'll put it in the show notes so you can listen to it if you haven't already. I'm currently participating in Wendy's 7-month certification program for parenting coaches, and I can't wait to share with you what I've learned once I come back. Another truly inspiring show is Mindful Parenting with Hunter Clark, a longtime podcaster and also a guest of mine. Episode 29 is one of people's favorites. I recently listened to an interview Hunter had with Lenore Skenazy about allowing our kids to explore their independence and why it's so important for their development. It got me thinking, many of us have become so fearful of the world around us that we have drastically limited our children's ability to grow their independence. Protecting them too much might be doing more harm than good. The episode gave me some great ideas on how to promote my kids' independence this summer when the schedule is lighter and we can shift our focus to free play. Again, the link is in the show notes. And the last show I want to share with you is Emotionally Intelligent Parenting with Stephanie Pinto, which is about raising emotionally intelligent children and navigating common setbacks we might encounter on this journey. Stephanie is such a genuine and delightful person, and it's so easy to learn from her. And now let's do sort of a recap of this second season of Unlock Your Child's Full Potential, where we focused on building a strong bond with our children. Here's a few things we learned in these 15 weeks. We differentiated between two types of parental love, conditional and unconditional. Conditional love depends on children meeting our standards, while unconditional love is given freely, regardless of behavior or success. We emphasize the importance of loving our kids for who they are, not what they do. We discovered a better way to discipline our kids through compassionate discipline, which fosters safety and trust at home. Instead of making kids feel bad to improve their behavior, we learned that prioritizing connection over rigid rules instills internal control and self-discipline. Rules without connection lead to rebellion, but rules with connection foster respect. We highlighted the importance of quality time over quantity. Meaningful interactions, even brief ones, strengthen the parent-child bond. A helpful tip for busy parents is the daily 10-minute one-on-one time with each child, free from distractions, when we follow the child's agenda. This practice nurtures the relationship and reduces attention-seeking behavior. We explored how to raise emotionally intelligent kids even when your partner is on a different page. The key takeaway: show your partner the compassion and empathy you want them to show the children. We dove into the partnership approach in parenting. Rather than being strictly a parent or friend, we should walk side by side with our children, supporting each other. My guest Sue Donnellan shared a scenario where, as a parent, you address the issue of yelling. You candidly discuss your triggers and express the desire to stop yelling. Then, as partners in this journey, you involve your child by setting expectations and asking for their input on how to handle situations that might lead to conflicts. It's about shared responsibility and collaborative problem solving. As a mom of 3 girls, I love exploring the mother-daughter connection and delving into the struggles of mothers and daughters face, especially when it comes to expressing needs. As women, we often find it challenging to convey our feelings, fearing we might hurt each other. This avoidance, unfortunately, leads to confusion and unresolved conflicts. Another significant hurdle is navigating the teenage years, when daughters are figuring out which aspects of their mothers they want to emulate and which ones they want to reject. And one gem I absolutely loved: ask your daughter directly what she needs instead of assuming. It's simple, yet incredibly powerful. We learned practical tips on incorporating art therapy into our parenting toolkit, whether using art prompts to start discussions, creating a safe space for creative expression, or focusing on the process rather than the outcome. Art helps enhancing our relationships. We also talked about how comparisons are natural and inevitable because they are a survival mechanism. Nowadays, social media amplifies these comparisons with perfect images and seemingly happy lives. Telling our kids not to compare themselves won't work. Instead, we should guide them to use comparisons as a tool. Ask questions like, what makes you unique? How are you different from that other person? Highlight how uniqueness and self-worth lead to true happiness, and help them see role models in a healthy light. This foundation of self-worth is crucial in teaching kids to handle comparisons positively. Well, that was all. Thank you for tuning in and letting me be a part of your day. If you can spare an extra minute, please rate the show and give me a review if you wouldn't mind. It's much appreciated. Have a wonderful summer, and I'll see you in the fall.